Emmys and Oscars who? It's award season here at School Bus Fleet, and we're celebrating some amazing leaders in school transportation. Welcome to another episode of The Route, School Bus Fleet's video and podcast series that keeps you in the know. I'm Amanda Huggett, your executive editor. Today, I'm going to introduce you to our 12 Trailblazers, and then we'll be joined by our Administrator of the Year to hear about her journey. This episode of The Route is sponsored by IC Bus. The next generation is here and is ahead of its class. Let's get rolling. In case you missed it, late last month, we named the 2025 Trailblazers. From many nominations, we narrowed it down to 12 inspiring leaders, all under 40 years old. Each is dedicated to student safety, technological innovation, teamwork, and their commitment to this industry and their communities. They span the industry, from district directors and dispatchers to clerks and mechanics, alternative transportation providers, association leaders, contractor executives, manufacturers, and school bus dealers. And there's something really special about each of them. Jessica Aquino works at First Student's alternative transportation arm and was instrumental in leading its software development as the company launched a driver app and back-end support technology. When she was displaced by Hurricane Harvey, she realized how hard it is for people with a support system and was fueled to help kids experiencing homelessness. Her biggest piece of advice is to work with both patience and purpose and remember the human side of what we do. Randall Crawford is actually someone that I met at NASDIPS. Let me tell you, he is humble about his achievements. He's been transportation director at a district in Florida for 3 years, and he single-handedly transformed the department. The district's supervisor and other industry leaders raved about his leadership that enhanced service, improved morale, and revitalized programs. Megan Frotsky is more than a dispatcher, she's a team builder. She never complains about the early mornings or being on call 24/7 to handle bus staffing, and she makes sure that everything in Bemidji runs smoothly. She started this job after being a stay-at-home mom and now continues to volunteer in addition to everything else she does. Megan says thinking on your feet is important as things can change in an instant in this world. Up in Canada, Brooke Garcia is a tireless advocate for special needs students. In Calgary, she's redefined accessible transportation for students with disabilities in her role as CEO at Four Seasons. Since her promotion, Brooke has significantly grown their operations. She's passionate about building strong teams and speaking at conferences around the continent while inspiring everyone around her. She says a willingness to learn and be adaptable are the qualities that will get someone far in life. Dylan Gutierrez became a school bus mechanic somewhat reluctantly at first, but now he loves his job. He enjoys servicing his district's buses and says he's learned the value of teamwork. The superintendent credits Dylan for helping turn around the department that used to fail inspections and now has a 100% pass rate. Michael Henley is one of the most passionate people about school buses I've ever met. He proudly shares that as a child, he used to collect buses and dreamed of being a school bus driver one day. He now lives out that dream, even in his role as coordinator of transportation. Mike loves talking about routing and analyzing data to make the best decisions for his district's buses. He recommends others earn their CDL and drive a route to better understand the driver experience. In Iowa, David Johnson runs the state association and takes pride in planning events to bring his member districts together. Before that, he was a transportation director himself and modernized the operations in Van Meter. He's active in the industry too, attending National Association events and serving on committees to advance key policies. David believes the key to success lies in clear communication and patience. Morgan Judge craves working for a company driving meaningful change, and she has that in her role at Everdriven. With a background as an attorney, her unique perspective helps her lead the compliance efforts and ensure Everdriven solutions serve students and schools. Her why is making sure that all students have access to an education, and she believes that technology is going to play a crucial role in the future of the industry. Whitney Kapenko is like a ray of sunshine, so it's fitting that she works for school bus dealer Sonny Merriman. In fact, it's the very company that provided the buses she rode as a child herself. Whitney leads the sales, marketing, and EV program there, and loves the fast pace. She also serves on the board for Virginia Clean Cities to advocate for clean energy. Ira Kinsley's technical background as an engineer gives him a unique perspective in his role at manufacturer IC Bus. And he's all about the strong customer experience that meets needs and expectations. His top tip for others looking to advance is to network and create lasting relationships. Letitia McIntyre Johnson followed in her mother's footsteps by becoming a school bus driver to follow her own daughter's schedule. Now, she's built relationships with the administration and is close to her kids. As a math whiz, she loves crunching numbers and preparing reports, but her real impact is getting to know all the drivers and having lunch with them every day. She even put herself through college while working at the district. Her team spirit and approach is the quality that earned her a nomination, and her advice for others is to invest in yourself from day one. Last and certainly not least is Nikki Patterson, who's another person who grew up around school buses and couldn't help but make it her career too. Nikki's mom was a route coordinator, and then Nikki became a monitor before running the safety and training program at her district. She's praised for her ability to solve problems and put out fires. She recommends leading by example to set the right tone and know how to be flexible at all times. You can read each of their full stories on our website, and I'll put the link below. Now let's get to meeting our 2025 Administrator of the Year, Kimberly Jones, who's the Executive Director of Transportation at Chicago Public Schools. Now, for our Administrator of the Year award, we look for a K-12 student transportation director who strives for excellence, shows strong leadership, is innovative, and involved in their community and industry associations. When I read Kimberly's nomination and got to know her, couldn't decide if she was Superwoman or a wizard. But regardless, I was in awe of everything that she does for students in her community. Kimberly is a true professional and a servant leader at heart. So let's get to know her a little bit more right now. Here are some key moments from our interview.
Tell me again what it felt like to win.
I gotta be honest, I was totally surprised. In this role, we'd be so, I can speak for myself, I'd be so embedded in the work until I actually took a step back and read all of the amazing things and accomplishments that we've done here in Chicago. I had to say to myself, wow, I've been in this role for 5 years and it was a lot accomplished in 5 years. So I'm excited. I am honored. I was especially honored that the COO recognized, my accomplishments. And just to be able to navigate through a national challenge and, some of the successes that I'm having, I'm just floored by it. So again, thank you so much for, allowing me to win this. And again, I am just truly excited.
Well, again, very deserving. And we're so glad you're going to be able to join us at SBFX, where we'll also kind of celebrate you in person.
Yes, I'm excited.
Can you tell me about the Chicago Public Schools bus fleet?
Sure. So here in Chicago Public Schools, we currently outsource all of our services, all of our student transportation services, to a variety of private vendors. And so we've been recently awarded a federal grant that will allow us to operate our own fleet. So we've been awarded 50 electric school buses. But that is in progress. So we're taking a step forward once we get everything moving with that. But we have contractors and alternative modes of transportation, so a combination of both.
Okay.
Right now, I'm 5 buses away from 900, so I'm excited because we need approximately 1,300 in order to service all of our students once we return from the pandemic. back in 2021. We came back with 624 drivers. So I'm excited at the accomplishments that we've made so far.
Wow, that is significant. Okay. And the electric buses that you mentioned, do you have a plan in place for those? When do you expect to purchase or deploy them?
So it's federal dollars, so it's uncertain right now. So the grant was on hold, and then it was off, then it was on hold. So more information to come there.
Yeah. I know there were a lot of districts reporting that they couldn't get into their portals. Did you have that issue at all?
We did, but then it opened back up, and then it was on hold again. And so now I'm hearing, as of yesterday, that it's opened back up.
Okay.
So I'm going to continue to work with our grants team to see how we move forward.
Okay. What a ride.
Okay.
How do you maintain good working relationships with your vendors? How do you, really partner with them to make sure that both of your needs are being served?
So maintaining strong vendor relationships is paramount to my success. And it's built on a foundation of collaboration and full transparency. And I got to highlight full transparency. I view my vendors as strategic partners, not just service providers, with open communication, regular check-ins, and continuous improvement.
Okay, so tell me about the team that you oversee then. How many mechanics, dispatchers, routers, paras?
So my transportation team is a multifaceted department comprising nearly 1,000 employees. So we're structured into 7 distinct teams, each playing a critical role in ensuring a smooth and efficient transportation service. And my teams are, so I have a customer service team, I have a routing data billing, I have fleet, I have vendor management, I have staffing, I have a field management team, and then there's payroll.
Okay. You told us about winning the award already, so now let's kind of go backward into your journey. Okay. Tell me, how did you end up where you are?
Okay, so my journey has been driven by a passion for customer service and leadership, evolving through diverse industries and culminating through my current role as Executive Director of Chicago Public Schools. So I began my professional path in the fitness industry, actually. Oh. And so there I honed in on my skills building in strong client relationships and developing personalized service plans, all while maintaining the day-to-day operation at the gym. So this foundation in customer service proved invaluable as I transitioned to the transportation sector. A pivotal point in my career was my tenure at Greyhound Lines, where I served as the operation manager of the 3rd largest bus provider in North America. Greyhound really taught me some things here in Chicago. And so when I heard I was going to be charged with, the exact words was turning the terminal around. So this role provided me with extensive experience in managing large-scale operations, implementing strategic planning, and navigating through complexities of fast-paced transportation environment. I learned to build and strengthen both internal and external relationships. Then joining Chicago Public Schools as a field manager marked another significant step in my career. I was drawn to the opportunity to contribute to the vital mission of ensuring safe and reliable transportation for students. Through dedication and commitment to the continuous improvement, I progressed to the director and now the executive director. Being a product of Chicago Public Schools, I felt that I can directly impact the outcome of students.
Yeah. Did you grow up in that same district then?
I did. I grew up in Chicago. Yes.
Well, that's beautiful then. It's full circle.
Yes.
Tell me about a typical day in your life.
Well, a typical day in my life is not so typical, given the continuous nature of our operation and the diverse stakeholders we serve. My schedule is highly dynamic and responsive. So any given day, I'll start my day out in the field and do pulse checks with my vendors. And essentially, my days are centered around ensuring the smooth and safe transportation of our students. And this involves regular pulse checks with the providers, focusing on the aligning of goals, particularly in addressing the ongoing driver shortage and recruitment efforts. These are day-to-day conversations. While we having some successes now, we're still short. And as I collaborate with other school districts, they're still short. And as I'm noticing the trend here in Chicago, it's not just a school bus driver shortage, it's an industry shortage. And so I also meet with various intergovernment agencies to provide updates on our initiatives, kind of discuss the current operation status, ensure alignment, and share goals. Maintaining close communications with my internal management team is very essential to what we do day to day. Overseeing the seamless education of our daily operation. And then once I'm in the office, I dedicated significant time to responding to emails from school administration and principals, providing clarity and support as needed, attending various meetings in person and virtual, surrounding transportation, and just questions regarding like the national school bus driver shortage in general. Responding to media inquiries, and I prioritize phone calls with parents. Ultimately, my focus is being readily and available and prepared to serve the students of Chicago Public Schools.
You basically oversee 14,000 students, 19 bell times, 19 morning and 55 afternoon bell times. Are those numbers still accurate?
Yes, extensive.
Okay, so how do you do all of that? It's a lot.
It is. I would be remiss if I say it wasn't, but it is. And so managing the transportation of approximately 14,000 students with 19 different bell times in the morning and 55 in the afternoon in a district as large as Chicago Public Schools is a significant undertaking. And truthfully, it's not something that I can do alone. It requires a highly collaborative approach. Success depends on the efforts across my team and strong partnership with various stakeholders. This includes close collaboration with other departments within CPS, ensuring alignment and seamless coordination. We also heavily rely on our school leaders and their respective communities, fostering open communication and addressing local needs. Effective partnerships with our transportation vendors are crucial for reliable and efficient services. And continuous engagement with students and their families is essential for understanding their needs and ensuring their safety and satisfaction. So it's a collective effort that allows us to keep everything in line and provide dependable transportation systems for our schools. Addressing the driver shortage has been my top priority, and we've implemented a multifaceted approach to recruit new drivers. So we've significantly increased wages to attract and retain qualified drivers. Alongside this, we've launched aggressive recruitment efforts, engaging in proactive outreach through various channels. So we've also leveraged digital marketing to expand our reach and connect with potential candidates online. So everything is online now. Nobody wants to come in for a paper application. And so to further streamline the hiring process, we host monthly hiring fairs here in the district and collaborate with state representatives and aldermen and things like that. Providing convenient opportunities for individuals to learn about and apply for driver positions. And then recognizing the importance of accessibility, we've collaborated with our Secretary of State to increase testing times and sites and to offer the necessary testing in additional languages. So that's removing the potential barriers for diverse applicants.
You mentioned pay. How much did you increase wages and what's your starting pay now?
Now we're ranging anywhere between $25 and $29 an hour. But we've assisted our vendors with increasing driver wages over 2 years by $5.
So another thing that really stood out in your nomination was kind of your, servant leadership and how you really prioritize students who are, for lack of a better term, forgotten. In some cases, those with housing instability or special needs. So tell me, why are these students so important to you and how do you work with them?
Transporting students with disabilities or those experiencing housing instability is a responsibility that we take very seriously here in the district, requiring a specialized and deeply compassionate approach. For us, it means prioritizing our most vulnerable students, ensuring they receive services first. Specifically, this involves working closely with families, schools, and specialists to develop individualized transportation plans that meet the unique needs of each student. Ultimately, we are committed to providing safe, reliable, and dignified transportation for all students with a particular focus on those who need it most.
So tell me what it's like to be in such a high-profile position and in that spotlight, and how you deal with the good and the bad that comes with that.
Well, so leading transportation in a district as large as Chicago Public Schools, it involves navigating a complex landscape of scrutiny from parents, the public, and the media. And so this scrutiny often stems from a combination of factors, including misinformation, misconception, unrealistic expectation, and resource constraints, and competing priorities. And so that, the combination of all is, where the misunderstanding come in at. And there's, one of the significant challenges we face is addressing the misinformation and the misconception. In a district as large as ours, rumors and inaccurate information can spread quickly, leading to unnecessary anxiety and frustration. And so to counter this, we prioritize and be transparent and give proactive communication. So we strive to provide accurate and timely information through various channels, including our website, direct communication, and with parents and media outreach. And another challenge is managing the unrealistic expectations. So parents and the public, understandably, want the best for their children, and so do I. And this can sometimes lead to expectations that are difficult to meet given our resource limitations and complexities of our operation. Mm-hmm. So we work to manage these expectations by providing clear explanation of our process and constraints, while also remaining committed to continuous improvement. So misinformation would be, how we route students. And if, without knowing all the dynamics behind how we route students, it's more than just putting a student on the bus. So there's policies that we follow when it comes to routing students. Mm-hmm. So it's not about who you know and how you know it. That's why we've changed the policy some time ago to prioritize our students who are in need, our most vulnerable population. And so until we actually put that in writing, the misconceptions they're out there, right? Yeah. And so we put it in writing, and then we put it out there to understand, here's the reasons, the whys behind some of the actions that we take here in the district.
What do you like best about your job?
Well, as difficult as some of our day-to-day could be, I can go on and on about my favorite aspects about my job. First is the satisfaction of tackling and triumphing through the complex challenges inherited in a large-scale transportation system. There's a real sense of accomplishment in finding solutions and making a positive impact. Second, and equally important, is the incredible team I work with. And they are not just colleagues, they've become more like family, because believe it or not, we spend probably more time here at work than we do with our families. And their dedication, resilience, collaborative spirit makes even the worst demanding days rewarding. And lastly, I take pride in knowing that we in transportation kickstarts the students' days. By providing safe and timely transportation, ensure our students are in school on time and ready to learn. That driver and that bus aide is the first person that our students see before even getting to school. So we leave a lasting impression on our students.
What keeps you going? What motivates you to do this day in and day out?
So to be honest, as a woman in a traditionally male-dominated industry and one of the first to serve in this role at Chicago Public Schools, I understand the significance of my position and I don't take it lightly. So what truly keeps me motivated is a profound understanding that the work I do and the decisions that I make directly and significantly impact the lives of countless individuals. I play a very important role in the future of our students. So my leadership philosophy centers on fostering a collaborative and empowering environment where the focus is on achieving results rather than emphasizing titles. I believe in recognizing and leveraging the strengths of my team, providing them with the autonomy they need to excel and reach their full potential. So this approach empowers them to take ownership of their work and encourage them to innovate. While I believe in providing autonomy, I also recognize the importance of accountability. I hold my team accountable, ensuring that we maintain high standards and deliver our own commitments. The balance of empowerment and accountability has proven to be particularly effective in navigating complex challenges, such as the teacher work stoppages, COVID-19 pandemic, and the ongoing national driver shortage. So by fostering a culture of trust and collaboration, we we've been able to adapt quickly and effectively to these dynamic situations. Important lessons that I've learned: that it's very lonely at the top. Expect difficult decisions have to be made. And to just get comfortable being uncomfortable. I learn something every single day. Every single day something different happened in student transportation. So just, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
What would you tell future young people, probably particularly women, who are wanting to kind of follow in your path and take a leadership role in student transportation?
So I would probably tell young leaders to block out the noise and stay the course, leaving no stone unturned to service the students. Always do what's right by students. Keep the students at the forefront.
What about if there was one thing you could change about the industry? What would that be?
One thing that if we can change about the industry would be to keep the students at the forefront. As I said that, I'm student-driven, student-centered. But is that we as a district are able to provide safe, reliable, and equitable transportation to all of our eligible students. And that our students' transportation experience is a pleasant one. And that they're ready, they're in the classroom on time and ready to learn. And then another thing that I wish I can change would be the culture of all departments, instead of acting as separate entities, to act as one district. So to collaborate on how to provide success in all avenues for student success.
Kimberly, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. We're so excited to honor you with this award and to share your story.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure. I'm honored, and I'm very grateful.
Isn't Kimberly amazing? I hope you enjoyed hearing her story. Please check out the links below to see the full stories about all of our award winners. That's it for today, but you can find more school bus headlines and hot topics on our website anytime. Be sure to follow our YouTube channel and connect with us on social media. And a big thank you to the sponsor of the route, IC Bus, proudly offering vehicles and solutions that are ahead of its class. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for riding with us.